Spanish media react to Davide Ancelotti Rangers manager rumor. How much money Celtic could bank as Sky Sports delivers Jeremie Frimpong to Liverpool update. Kris Boyd fires shots as he sends Celtic warning to Jimmy Thielen's Aberdeen. Michael Stewart names 4 Hearts factors that need addressed if Derek McInnes is next manager. 93% of you watching aren't subscribed yet. That's mental. It's completely free, takes 2 seconds, and you'll never miss the biggest stories in Scottish football. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm giving away a brand new SPFL shirt of your team. If you're subscribed, you're in the draw. Simple as that. Well, it looks like things might be heating up at Ibrox, and not just because someone overcooked the pies again. According to Spanish media, the next man to take the reins at Rangers could be none other than Davide Ancelotti. Yes, the Real Madrid assistant. Yes, the son of Carlo. And yes, the guy with a Champions League winning dad and a passport full of elite European dugouts. The buzz is that once Davide wraps up his brief stint, helping his father launch Brazil's latest Celtic chapter in June, he might just swap the Bernabeu for the broom cupboards at Ibrox. If the reports are to be believed, this is more than just gossip over tapas. The offer on the table is said to be proper business, backed by none other than the mighty 49ers Enterprises, the investment group behind one of the most successful NFL franchises and part owners of Leeds United. So while Barry Ferguson keeps the interim seat warm, the suits upstairs are reportedly eyeing up Davide as the man to lead a Rangers revival. And he would not be coming alone. Word is, he's bringing Francesco Mori, another footballing son with him. Fitness wizard lineage and all. The project? Ambitious. European football, a historic club itching to dethrone Celtic, and shiny new American money hoping to spark a Glasgow power shift. And let's not ignore the tasty irony here. While his dad goes off to manage Brazil and try to win the World Cup with Vinicius Jr. doing steepovers in the Amazon heat, young David might be battling for points in Livingston on a Wednesday night. A change of scenery, to say the least. Spanish outlets are not mincing words. They're calling it a new era for Rangers, a calculated, strategic move, a modern mind for a traditional club. And with Champions League qualifiers potentially in the mix, it could be a career-defining jumpstart for the young Italian. If Davide Ancelotti, who has never managed a team on his own, does end up taking charge at Ibrox, would that be a bold step into the future for Rangers? Or just another risky vanity project doomed to flop under Celtic's shadow? It is all kicking off again, and this time the cash tills at Parkhead might be ringing louder than the Champions League anthem. Jeremie Frimpong, the former Celtic speedster who left Glasgow as a promising right-back and turned up in Germany like a turbocharged Rolls-Royce, is now on the brink of a mega move to Liverpool. The boy has absolutely smashed it at Bayer Leverkusen. A Bundesliga title, the German Cup, and the Super Cup all in the same cabinet. And now he is being eyed as a potential replacement for none other than Trent Alexander-Arnold. From struggling to get minutes at Manchester City to becoming one of the most wanted fullbacks in Europe, it has been one wild journey. And here is where Celtic start rubbing their hands together. According to reports, Liverpool are ready to cough up £36 million to bring Frimpong to Anfield. Thanks to a clever little clause inserted when he left Glasgow, Celtic are in line to pocket about 30% of that sum. Do the maths and that lands them roughly £6.7 million without lifting a finger. No press, no injuries, no VAR meltdowns, just a lovely windfall from a smart bit of business years ago. It is the kind of deal that makes a finance director open a bottle of something fancy on a Tuesday afternoon. And with the summer window looming, that extra chunk of change could mean a couple of marquee signings or, let us be honest, another talented teenager from somewhere obscure that they can hopefully flip again for millions in 3 years' time. If Jeremie Frimpong becomes a Liverpool star and Celtic only sees £6.7 million from the deal, should fans be celebrating the sell-on clause or raging that they let a player of that caliber go so cheap in the first place? Right then, time to peek behind the maroon curtain at Tynecastle, where things are just about as clear as a pint of brew stirred with a spanner. The word on the cobbled streets of Gorgie is that Derek McInnes is in the frame to become the next Hearts manager, and Michael Stewart has already got his magnifying glass out to point at 4 big flashing warning signs. First off, the basics. Hearts are looking for yet another new boss after a season that saw Stephen Naismith given the boot. Neil Critchley last about as long as a Greggs sausage roll in the away end, and Liam Fox stepping in to salvage a bit of pride. 2 wins to finish the season. Fair play to him. But the managerial merry-go-round is starting to look more like a demolition derby. Now, McInnes might be tempted. The guy has Kilmarnock punching above their weight again. And let us not forget he spent years turning Aberdeen into a consistent top 3 side, while others were busy changing managers every 6 months. So, why the hesitation? Michael Stewart reckons there are 4 elephants lounging around the Hearts boardroom that need to be addressed before McInnes grabs the Tynecastle keys. 1. Who is actually calling the shots? Between Tony Bloom's involvement, the analytics team, and the various boardroom voices, it is a bit of a mystery novel at the top of the club. 2. Recruitment. Hearts love a spreadsheet these days, but if the new manager is going to be judged on performances, he will want some say on who actually walks through the door. 3. The Shanklin situation. The man scores goals like it is his daily step count, and with his contract up this summer, any new boss will need to either convince him to stay or brace for a big hole up front. And 4. Stability. That magic word. McInnes has done his best work when given time to build, not when juggling flaming swords, while someone changes the boardroom wallpaper every other week. Now let us not forget, this is still just a strong rumor. But if McInnes does walk away from Rugby Park, Kilmarnock fans will rightly feel robbed. It might not have been a vintage season, but he got the job done when it mattered, and without a massive squad to play with. If Derek McInnes turns down Hearts because of the chaos off the pitch, does that say more about his ambition, or about how broken the club's structure really is? Alright, here we go again. Kris Boyd has pulled no punches, and you know when Boyd speaks about Aberdeen, the spiciness levels go straight through the roof. After watching Jimmy Fallon's men get absolutely steamrolled at Ibrox, the former striker turned pundit has sent a blunt message ahead of their back-to-back clashes with Celtic. And let's be honest, it was not exactly subtle. Boyd basically, if Aberdeen play like they did against Rangers, then Celtic could be scoring for fun in the Scottish Cup final. Not if they lose, but how many they'll lose by. Brutal stuff. Now, while Fallon started the season looking like the next managerial prodigy to roll through the Premiership, things have unraveled faster than a dodgy Hummel kid. The Dons were dreaming of top 3 glory, maybe even whispering the words title race when no one was listening. But here we are in May, and not only are they staring down the barrel of 5th place, they have got to face the champions twice in 2 weeks. Once at Pittodrie, and then again in the pressure cooker of Hampden Park. Celtic, for their part, are already crowned champions. Brendan Rodgers has the luxury of squad rotation, resting legs ahead of that cup final, or maybe giving a few fringe players a final audition. But even with a rotated side, the champions have shown they can come from behind and still brush teams aside, as they did against Hibernian. Now, when you look at the head-to-head, the history is absolutely lopsided. Out of 119 clashes, Celtic have won 94, Aberdeen just 13. And to make it even uglier, the goal count sits at 309 to Celtic, 104 to the Dons. That is not a rivalry, that is a record collection. So while Jimmy Fallon deserves credit for reaching 2 domestic semi-finals and guiding Aberdeen to Hampden once more, Boyd is asking the hard question. If they finish 5th and get smashed in the cup final, can anyone really call it a successful season? If Aberdeen get battered again by Celtic at Hampden, is Jimmy Fallon still the right man to lead them next season, or has the honeymoon period already expired? And don't forget, we're closing in on 1,000 subscribers. Once we hit that mark, we're giving away a shirt of your favorite SPFL team to 1 lucky subscriber. So hit that subscribe button, drop your team in the comments. Don't forget to leave a like on the video. I post videos every day talking about our Scottish football. See you soon.